Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over pricing on new cars and how much markup there actually is in new cars. So in the first segment of this video, we're going to be going over dealership discount. Then we're going to get into markup on new cars, and then finally we're going to finish things up with market value and how this affects everything. And by the way, the answers in this video are not going to be what you guys want to hear, but it is the truth and it's the answers that you guys need to hear. So with dealership discount versus rebates, the first topic. Dealership discount, what that means is the dealership is lowering the price on the vehicle that they are selling you. And what that in turn means is they are decreasing the amount of profit that they're making. That money is coming from the dealership. So when you're getting dealership discount on a vehicle, dealership discounts the car, they're not making as much money. Rebates, however, come from the manufacturer of the car. The dealership is not giving up any money for a rebate. So let's say that there's a $1,000 rebate on a particular vehicle. That vehicle gets discounted $1,000 for you as a customer. The dealership doesn't pay for it. The manufacturer of that car pays for it. So that's the difference between a dealership discount and a rebate. And most dealerships, like the dealership that I work for, are kind of becoming, making things a lot easier. I'm grateful that the dealership that I work for does that. They disclose everything. They break it down for our customers so that you can see the difference. You can see how much the dealership discount is, how much the rebates are, so you can understand where the overall discount is coming from. Because I know as a consumer, all you care about is how much money am I getting off the vehicle. But, make sure to look at the breakdown of things so you understand where the money's coming from. And why this is important is it gets to a point where a dealership can only discount a vehicle a certain amount of money, right? And this leads into the next topic, which how much markup is there actually in new vehicles? The average new car nowadays has between 6 to 7% markup in it, which isn't a whole lot. Now vehicles obviously are very expensive now, so 6 to 7% is potentially thousands of dollars. But if you think about it compared to a lot of other industries, the clothing industry is a huge one. They have thousands of a percent of markup on it. I have a friend that is huge into shoes, and one of the pairs of shoes that he bought was I think it was $400 or $500, and I don't know exactly how much it cost to make shoes, but I'm sure it didn't cost more than a few bucks to make that shoe. So that shoe manufacturer is obviously making, literally hundreds, if not thousands of a percent markup on, their product. Whereas automobiles, obviously it's significantly less. So I think it's funny that people talk about negotiating cars, all this kind of stuff, and it's like, you should have probably negotiated a little bit more when you went and bought groceries or bought shoes, because those people are making a whole lot more money off of you than dealerships are. Now, with that being said, if the markup is only, and that's the industry average, right? 6 to 7%. When people are asking for these huge discounts off of vehicles where they're like, oh, I want, $20,000, $30,000. I hear it all the time because I sell $60,000, $70,000 trucks. People, seem to think that there's huge amounts of discounts. The money really isn't there. I mean, if you take, $60,000, right? And you go on the high end and you do, maybe a 7% markup, you're talking about $5,000 roughly, if the math off the top of my head is correct. And so if really there's only, a few $1,000s of markup in this very expensive vehicle, how are you really going to get, $20,000, $30,000 of discount? The money's not there. The money has to come from somewhere. And so dealerships really don't have all that much markup. And the other thing to take away is, when you look at these vehicles online, most new cars are actually already discounted online. So I can tell you guys right now, with the dealership that I work at, that 6 to 7% markup is already discounted on the online price. So you have the MSRP on a vehicle, and usually these vehicles are already discounted down to the cost on what the online price is. So that 6 to 7% markup doesn't exist, right? There are some manufacturers that are still able to get full sticker or MSRP for a vehicle, but that is very rare nowadays. Most dealerships, to be competitive on the online marketplace, have to discount their vehicles down to cost, and it's because they're not making the money on the vehicle itself. They're making the money off of services associated with that vehicle, and that is a video for a topic for a whole nother video. And now finally, the last part, which is market value and how this ties everything in, is if a dealership has something priced out online and it is a fair market value, no matter how much money it is, if it's a fair market value, that's what you have to pay for that item. And that's with any product that you buy in life. And that's why I think that it's kind of funny that people, and I'm not saying don't negotiate, right? I understand it's part of purchasing across a car. People want to negotiate, and I completely understand that. But understand that when you're negotiating nowadays, typically, now I'm making kind of a blanket statement. This doesn't apply to all manufacturers. Usually high-end cars are a completely different thing. But for most cars nowadays, there's not a ton of money to negotiate. And so with everything being service-based, market value is fair pricing. And so if you're getting fair market value on a vehicle, that is a great deal. And you know what? If the dealership's making money off of that fair market value, then that dealership obviously has a very viable business plan, and they're doing their job in terms of, any business which makes money. For you to be able to buy that car, you work for a business that makes money. Dealerships have to do the exact same thing. So with that being said, you guys all know that I ordered out a Ford Raptor. Right now here in Utah, the average Ford Raptor goes for anywhere between $3,000 to $10,000 over sticker. So let's just say, for example's sake, I got a Raptor at sticker price. That means I'm getting a stupid good deal. But if I pay $3,000 to $10,000 over sticker, a lot of you are gonna be like, oh, you're getting a horrible deal. You're overpaying for the vehicle. And in reality, if every single place is selling a vehicle for that amount of money, that's the fair market price on that vehicle, and that's a great deal. The deal isn't about how much money the dealership is losing. The deal is not about how much, if the dealership's selling a vehicle at cost or not. That's not really important. What's important is what's the market value on that vehicle, and if something is priced to market, that's a good deal. I hope that all made sense to you guys. If there's anything that I can clear up, as always, let me know. If this is the first time for you stopping in, please subscribe, and then I will see all of you in that next video.